Hello. It's been a bit since I made a video. And I have to decide. I think I might put this on both LinkedIn and YouTube, but I don't know where I'll categorize it or if I will. I'll probably just put it up to put it up. So today I have a deep cut, but it is not the emotional ones that I usually do. It's emotional in the sense that I have something personal involved in it, but it's not emotional in the sense of talking about soft skills. Instead, I'm going to do something today maybe I shouldn't do on LinkedIn, but I'm going to do it anyway. To be clear, this is not a political post, though some might see it as such. That this is to talk about a reality of something that I, as a Canadian business, am having to deal with and will maybe have to deal with even in more harsher terms in 30 days. And I want to make, as an MSP and as a business owner, not as any of the other hats that I wear, I want to make something really apparent because I think it's important for us to talk about it. And that really is about how situations like what's going on right now with tariffs and or possible tariffs, I should say, or political instability plays such a large role in how we do business. So I don't really, like I said, I don't want to make this political, not really. I don't really want comments about one side or the other because that's not really what LinkedIn is for. And realistically, I'm a firm believer in, even if I don't agree with the way that you vote, that you get a choice and a chance to vote the way that you want to, because that's our right in a democratic society. And Canada is a democracy, and so is the US. So, you know, what you've done or what you've chosen is your choice and your right to make that choice. But I think there needs to be some reality about what that choice means for us. And I don't mean let's walk it back, let's take it back, let's put pressure. None of that. Again, not political. And if you get political in my comments, I will probably delete, if I have the power to delete, your comment from my feed, because I'm not trying to make it about that. What I do want to talk about is just a little bit of economics. So for businesses like mine in countries outside of the US, when we purchase software, as my company relies on a lot of American software in order to run our day-to-day operations, you pay in US dollars. And for the most part, you know, we build out our pricing to include some level of fluctuation. What you can't necessarily plan for when you're making contracts with clients that are 1, 2, 3 years long is fluctuations like this has or this creates for us. And one of the things I wanted to talk about in this video is, you know, what the reality of that looks like. You know, I had a conversation with some colleagues. They recommended a particular password solution to us. And, you know, when we were looking into it, when evaluating what we were going to go with, price is such a huge factor for us because there's what the market will bear in terms of what clients will pay for something. And when we look at any supplier that is US based, we have to take the cost and then pretty much double it because we have to build in not only a little bit of margin for ourselves to support the product, but then we also have to consider what these fluctuations are going to be in the dollar. So if the dollar fluctuates, you know, usually what we build in is about 5%. If the dollar fluctuates, you know, 5 to 10%, which is, you know, some of the estimates, and I mean, some of what we've already seen to some degree as a lot of these talks have come about, that is really difficult for us to maintain. And I mean, I think our actual amount that we build out might be a little bit less than that 5%. It might be like around 3 or something, because we have to be careful, right? We don't want to price ourselves out of what other people are doing, but we also we don't want to be in a position where when something like this happens, we're, you know, completely underwater on something. And one of the things that I wanted to do with this video today was, one, make that really apparent about how this affects us, but also to talk about the partners that we super love working with. I just want to give a huge shout out to Huntress. We actually get billed in Canadian dollars. This creates a lot of understanding for us in terms of being able to scale how we roll this out to clients. We're more likely to take it out to more clients because our costs on it are not variable. We understand what they are from the beginning. I mean, when contract renewal comes up, that's a different animal, and you can kind of know when those things are coming and prepare for it. You can't prepare for political unrest or political decisions in another country in the same way. There's no predictability. And if I said to my clients, I'm going to raise your prices by 10% just in case, Donald Trump decides to put tariffs on us, I mean, nobody is going to be okay with that. That's not something that they would support. I think they would understand if we came back out, if we were 6 months down the line and we were in a position to have to look at our pricing. But this is a very real threat to a lot of Canadian businesses, but I want to talk specifically about us as MSPs. We use a ticketing system, we use a remote management software, I think there's like 30 different softwares that we use, and in each single one of them we have to factor that in. And partners like Huntress, or working with distribution partners like Pax8 or SureWeb, who bill us in Canadian dollars, make so much more sense for us, and they really help when we're planning out how we price ourselves to both be fair to our clients, but also ensure the stability that we need to on the business side to make sure that we're not taking a hit. And I know that when we were young, immature MSP and we didn't always think about things in that way, we definitely were in a position where we did take a hit when fluctuations would happen, especially when 2008 hit. Like, that was really rough. So when I'm making this video, what I'm really asking for is I'm asking my vendor partners, my vendor friends, if we've got a 30-day reprieve here in Canada, my call to you is to really consider your Canadian partners and what it is that we could do as an industry to help support their longevity, their success, my success. I mean, I think of it from a personal perspective, but there are many of us out there, and I think it's really difficult already to deal with that fluctuation, never mind considering what we're having to deal with. So if you go internally and talk about how you might be able to facilitate this, whether it is working through with a distribution partner to charge in Canadian, or whether it is just billing directly. I don't know how Huntress does it. I just know that we super appreciate it, and it allows us to kind of double down on working with them more. So I don't think it would be a bad thing. I mean, I can't see it being a bad thing. I don't know what headache it creates for you, so I'm not going to be mad if you don't do it, but I could not be as passionate as I am about this community succeeding and winning, and about all the rest of the Canadian MSPs that are out there, succeeding through this. If I didn't say that, please go back to your leadership teams and discuss, how you might be able to consider this to help create that stability for the Canadian market. If this is a place where you want to do business and sell your software, it'd be extremely supportive to consider the ways that we are different, not just the ways that we are the same. Thank you.